Hello and welcome back to the podcast, bros. This is Ashwal Sumargi and with me.
It's Aviz Ras Sumargi. And go on, Ashwal.
And we are back today. And today we have sports. And we bring you guys our beloved sports today. And we have a lot to share today. Various sports. Football, as always. And, IPL's begun. Cricket for the cricket fans out there. And we have a little bit of F1 and a little bit of UFC as well. So a lot in store, and let's get things right off with football. So what's up with our beloved Premier League?
Yeah, Premier League has been back after the international break, which was a killer, by the way. I mean, I was struggling without Premier League going on, you know? Oh my God. But, of course, we lead on to the Premier League with a banger of a match. Man City versus Liverpool. Always a classic. I forget what the head-to-head is. Do you have any ideas, Ashwal?
Yeah, so the previous record. Yeah, wait.
Either way, let me keep going on. As always, a thriller of a game, right? And Liverpool, even though if they are performing badly, even if they are doing not very well during the season, they will always come out and compete against the big teams, especially Man City, right? Jurgen Klopp and Pep Guardiola, always a tough game, like always a fun game to watch and always a tough competition between the opponents, right?
Yeah.
But and the game got off to a crazy start, Liverpool played fairly decent in the early stages and were able to score. And Man City being in such great form, everyone was like, what's going to happen? Another one of those classic games where like it's either going to be 1-1, 1-2 or 2-1, close games. And Mohamed Salah scores early on. And going into the half, Man City and Liverpool tied.
Yeah.
Right? Interesting. Super, super interesting. But going into the second half, early second half, 46 minutes in, we get a goal. KDB tap in, right? And then everything begins to crumble for Liverpool. 3 goals straight scored in the second half. Shutout affair in the second half from Man City. And Jack Grealish, man. What a game for Jack Grealish. Not only was he able to provide an assist and a goal for himself, he also tracked back the whole length of the field to stop a pass from Mohamed Salah, which could have been a goal, one-on-one with the keeper, and could have ended up becoming a goal. So that was super fun.
So Jack Grealish stepped up that game.
Yeah, definitely. Now I feel like he's worth the 100 million. Ashwal, what do you think?
Jack Grealish, and I don't think I can say the same. 100 million still, but yeah, he's been stepping up. And Man City, obviously, they are star-studded. I mean, they have depth. It did come in handy there.
I mean, there are other teams with depth as well, like Chelsea. Will get to them soon. But Jack Grealish, for the time being, he has 4 goals and 5 assists in the season. And the other fun thing about Jack Grealish, and I've always said this to Ashwal, that like Jack Grealish is not one of those like superstar player, but he will give you like 10 goals, 15 assists kind of a player. And during the second half of the season, he's turned up. So I think that's fun. But the interesting thing after the match, yes, Man City won, which was a given, by the way. But Jurgen Klopp booed by Liverpool fans.
That was new.
Yeah.
That was definitely new. Oof. How many years has he been the manager?
6 years now?
Yeah, and this is the first time.
Yeah.
The beloved Jurgen Klopp.
Getting sacked soon? What do you think?
Maybe it is time.
Do you think so?
Maybe it is time. Because, I mean, he's won everything eventually. And there's a saying, right? You die as a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Yeah.
So now I think it's time.
I think he can, there are coaches that can stay very short, like Mourinho, and can create havoc by winning the leagues and all that. Conte, some of these examples, Zidane, right?
Yeah.
But Klopp, I think, is more of a sustained, long-term kind of a coach. I think Liverpool should give him time. It should not be like forgetting the glory days so fast. They've won everything under Klopp. So that's that. But either way, let us know what you think about should Jurgen Klopp stay in Liverpool? Should he be sacked? And he as well acknowledged it in his presser that I'm the only one that hasn't gone yet.
After so many sackings.
Yeah. And EPL has been notorious for sacking. By the way, the 11th longest coach in the EPL is just 174 days.
174 days.
Yeah, the active managers in the 20 teams of the EPL. 174 days is the longest tenure for the 11th highest.
Okay.
So that means sacking left, right, and center,
Yeah.
Anyways, Man City now 8 points behind Arsenal, 64 points in total in 28 games. They've got a game in hand against Arsenal. But let's go on to this next game of that evening.
So let's talking about Arsenal, the league leaders. They also started off this Premier League break. They started off this break with a 4-1 lead, a 4-1 win against Leeds at home. So good game. Obviously, you expect that from Arsenal. And obviously, Arsenal are under pressure because Man City did put on a good display. And they've been under pressure and they've been handling it well, don't you think? Because it's been some time Man City have been chasing them.
There was a few games during the winter time when they slipped up, right? Couple games I think they lost. Yeah, one game draw, one game lost. But now they're back on track, right? So go on.
And the interesting thing about this game was obviously it was important for Arsenal to keep the lead. Leeds were also fighting for relegation. So it was also important for them to win. But obviously they were just not strong enough to beat Arsenal. And Gabriel Jesus, beloved Arsenal striker for Arsenal fans. So he was injured and he's been back for a couple of matches now. But then this was his first start. And, he did score. He did score. And he assisted as well. Did he? Yeah.
In both halves he scored. I'm uncertain about the assist. I don't think he assisted. But yeah, like in both halves he scored. So Jesus walking on water now. Huh?
No, it's now just some time now, then he's going to be drinking wine.
I guess. Oh, the party is going to be super cheap for Arsenal then. Huh? This guy's going to be turning all water into wine.
So again, Arsenal still at lead, still at the top of the table with 72 points of 29 games. Again, now, what do you think? Can they keep this up? There's just a handful of games. I think less than 10 games.
I think Arsenal are winning the league now. I think they're certain enough. They don't have any European competition going on.
Nothing.
So they can just focus on this. And I think they can keep it. I think this will be...
They should be able to.
Yeah.
They've been a good, professional bunch, as of so far of this season as of now.
And Michael Arteta.
Props.
2 years ago, almost given the sack. Last year was stripped of his head coach title, where he could be the general manager and all this and all that, and he was just the coach, right? And this season, you
have to give it to him. I mean, it has worked this season, and he's led a sort of a young team, and they've been doing good.
Yeah.
So now another disappointing. Now this was a good news for Arsenal fans, and now let's go on to the disappointing news for Manchester United fans.
Oh, what a game. What a sad game. Man United, they've kind of been back on track a little bit after their thrashing against Liverpool 7-0. I think they had in the previous 5 games, I think 4 wins and 1 draw, right? And they thought, I thought they should be able to carry the momentum. But Newcastle, since the Saudi ownership takeover, they have been pretty decent.
They've been doing good. They're third. Aren't they third right now?
Yeah. So Newcastle played really good of a first half, and they were able to carry the momentum, and in the second half they scored both headers, right? And one of them was from what's his name, the right back, Kevin Trippier, right? So Kevin Trippier was also a pivotal guy in the game. But Newcastle third on the table. For third, fourth, and fifth, it's tied right now, 50 points each, right? And Man U also has 50 points, and Newcastle has 50 points. But the goal difference is Newcastle has plus 22 in goal difference, whereas Man U just has plus 4.
Yeah, and also to note that the fourth place Tottenham, they've played 2 games more, so they are on 29, and Man U and Newcastle are on 27. So that's a good advantage for Newcastle to have right now.
Yeah, and the other disappointment of a game, Conte just recently sacked. Of course, I'm talking about Tottenham versus Everton, a thriller of a game, super dramatic. Everton was awarded a red card in the second half, 50 minutes in, I guess, and then Tottenham was able to capitalize. Tottenham later on in the half was given another red card, so a player down on each end, and then on the 90th minute, Everton was able to equalize. Right, Everton also fighting for against relegation. So they right now have. I'm sorry, just give me a second. Yeah, they now have 27 points out of 29 games, which. That's looking at that number, it's sad. Yeah. Right? But
they've got less points than the games played.
Yeah. I mean, which is insane. But either way, I think they should be.
Yeah, you generally expect Everton to be doing good, right? Mid-table, sometimes even Europa. They've been, not been living up to the standards
since the Carlo Ancelotti gamble. They haven't had a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
run at it. So that's that. But Everton, Tottenham 1-1 each, and Tottenham also on 50 points, like we said. They though have played 29 games and they just have plus 12 goal difference. So Manu should be able to go on fourth if they are able to stack up a few results. Also Tottenham as well, but Newcastle for the time being they look like they're not going to stumble a lot going into the latter half of the season.
Yeah.
So that's that. And now the favorite result of ever for me. Go on, Rashwal, please enlighten
This
the crowd.
was disappointing. I mean, Chelsea 0, Liverpool 0. They drew at home, at Chelsea's home, and that was disappointing because Liverpool haven't been doing good as well this season, and Chelsea, I don't know what to expect now. They are currently sitting at 11th with 29 games played and 39 points, and that is also sad for Chelsea. So now, with Graham Potter's sacking, which was, I think, it was to be expected soon,
Yeah.
sooner rather than later. And now he's eventually sacked. And now again, I go back to the Thomas Tuchel sacking. I don't think that should have happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
yeah,
you don't sack, I'm going to, I think, copy the words of Pandit here. You don't sack Thomas Tuchel and go to Graham Potter.
Yeah.
And you sack him as well. Now I think we've got, we've as in Chelsea's got potential replacements of Nagelsmann. I also saw some Zidane in there.
Yeah,
Zidane
yeah.
would be good, I guess.
See, this is what I think about the whole sacking situation and Chelsea. So Roman Abramovich, right, when he owned Chelsea, notorious for sacking people, but at least the decency of giving them proper reasonings or at least facing them before sacking them, right? Thomas Tuchel sacking, after the new ownership came in and then they sacked him, a Champions League winning coach, right? So that already left a bitter taste in the mouth. Then Roman Abramovich, no matter what you say, being a Russian or being close to Putin or whatever, was beloved in Chelsea, So that left a bitter taste in the mouth. And then Chelsea were spending money left, right, and center, not just in the summer transfer, but also in the winter transfer, right? Enzo Fernandez did not come to fruition so far. What's the other guy's name? 007.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Or this Murdick.
Right?
Yeah.
That hasn't come into
He
fruition.
missed a sitter and Havertz as well. Oh my God.
Yeah.
What is this?
And then João Felix hasn't come into fruition,
No.
right? So all that. And then now they paid 21 million to buy out Graham Potter from Brighton. That means they bought the contract. So they paid 21 million to Brighton so that Brighton doesn't have to pay to Graham Potter anymore. And then Graham Potter was a free agent and then Chelsea bought him, right? After that, now sacking him, they had to pay him 60 million more,
That was dumb.
right?
And the owners, they were spending money left, right, and center with the transfers and all that, which were unnecessary because just to stack up the team does not help.
Yeah.
You have to utilize it as well, and the manager was not right.
Yeah.
And right now, Bruno Saltor is right now, I think, the interim coach
Yeah.
for a while, and I think they are looking for a replacement, but they are in shambles right now.
Yeah.
And I think it was a grave mistake to have continued my support with Chelsea this season.
Yeah.
So,
Plus, sorry to cut you off like that, but the other thing I also wanted to continue with this point, they had to jump through hurdles to keep some of the players. 8 years contract, 7 years contract, right? So that means they were already breaching the financial fair play situation, right?
Yeah.
Now 60 more million added to the pot, right? Plus 21 more million from the previous Brighton purchase. Now they are trying to buy Brighton's new manager that they appointed after Graham Potter by buying out his contract.
I think these owners have something against Brighton.
Yeah. Not just that, but how did they get their money? These are all stupid deals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, so Chelsea shambles, 11th in the league.
I don't expect them to finish at Europa or neither the Conference League.
Yeah.
And I finished them to finish mid-table. I don't think they're going to do good.
Yeah.
So let's see.
Liverpool also 8th on the table, so
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a tough run.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we talked about Jurgen Klopp maybe leaving. This is not a good look for Liverpool as well. And talking about the top four, I expect, I honestly want Arsenal to win it. And I also want Newcastle to have a Champions League shot.
Yeah, we right here at the Podcast Bros, avid football fan, hooligans of a supporter. And of course, Oswald does want Arsenal to win, though he's supporting Chelsea. You can see the loyalty in us.
I think our loyalty lies in Spain. So I think we.
So just to make it clear, we are avid Barcelona fans, you know. So that's why in the English Premier League we like jump teams whenever we want, or like at least at the start of the season, and we stick with the team to the end of the season.
Because Premier League is entertaining, and it can get pretty entertaining towards the end as well. So we pick our teams
at the start of the season,
and it's fun.
So to give the roundup, Arsenal still at the top of the table, 72 points. Man City second, 64 points. I think it's a foregone conclusion now. If it changes, I'll be color me surprised. But third is Newcastle, fourth Tottenham, and fifth Man United, 50 points each. Sixth Brighton, I think they still have a shot for the top five. And then seventh is Aston Villa, because my reasoning for them having a shot for the top five is because Tottenham just changed their coach. So I think Tottenham is going to have a little bit of a rough patch. And then Aston Villa, by the way, the previous game against Chelsea, they won 2-0. Right, so Chelsea is in a horrendous form, and then Liverpool 8th, Brentford 9, and then Fulham 10. Chelsea just out of the top 10 in the 11th. So that rounds up.
I'll just give a peek of the player stats as well. Kevin De Bruyne obviously the top of the assist charts, 13 assists. And talking about the player, obviously it's Erling Haaland with 28 goals. Do you think he's gonna break the record? 32 is it?
Right now he's had a groin injury, which is growing. So. This is not a dad joke challenge, by the way. But so I think he should be able to. There are 10 games left in hand. So 10 games 10. For Man City. So I think he should be able to. 4 goals, 5-6 goals, I think he should be able to. Maybe in a game, maybe.
Casually doing it. And Harry Kane sits on second with 22nd. Ivan Toney, heavily underrated this season. He was not picked out on the England squad as well.
Ivan Toney, enlighten the people. Which team?
Brentford. Brentford, 17 goals, sits third at the top scorer chart, and then he was picked above all the other strikers. He was not even in the team, so that was sad. Marcus Rashford, fourth, 14 goals. Gabriel Martinelli, surprisingly, 13 goals, fifth,
and was supposed to be a substitute for Gabriel Jesus.
So, I mean, they did step up. Bukayo Saka as well. He sits second in the assist charts with 10 assists. So they've been doing good. Arsenal.
Man, by the way, my shout is still Martin Odegaard for player of the
season.
All right. Okay. Let's wrap up. Let's wrap. Well, who's your player of the tournament?
If Erling Haaland breaks the record, it's got to be him.
Yeah. That makes sense. But I think you know what they'll do? But that's such a cheap. They could give him the young talent of the year. Or like the young player of the year, because he's still 21. So 20 till 24, you are eligible for that.
How old is Odegaard?
Odegaard is 24, 25, 27. I think 27.
Okay.
I'm guessing, by the way. But so that wraps up our Premier League weekend roundup. Let's get into some La Liga action and go on, Ashwal.
So La Liga also began on Sunday, Sunday the 2nd of April, and Barca kicked off the game.
Thrashing!
Yes, 4-0, and then Barca away from home, 4-0, which was a good result. And Levy is back. He was injured for a couple of while, so he's back for the El Clasico, which is coming up. So, but this game, Levy brace, Fati with a good goal. It was good for him to get back.
I think it was a long shot outside of the D.
It was a couple of dribbles here and there, and then a good shot from the right side of the D box to the left end. So, and then the thing about Ansu Fati was that he's wearing number 10, and he hasn't been scoring since October. So this was a huge spell. He had a couple of injuries here and there, but now I think he's back.
I recently saw an article saying that everyone was hot for Ansu Fati, but what happened to him? And then he scored. So at least maybe a little bit of pressure is off of him now.
But then that guy did come up with a lot of hype.
He
did score his first goal in 16.
The injuries, that's really troubled him.
Ferran Torres was the other scorer, so still at the top of the table. It was a good game, and so 4-0, and then now we have El Clasico coming up. So
still top of the table. I think we're 9 points clear right now, or 12 points clear.
12 points clear right now, but Madrid do have a game in hand. So now another team, Real Madrid, 6-0. To Real Valladolid. I don't know, man. They're like 17th, I think. So Benzema with a hat-trick.
First half.
First half hat-trick. And then Madrid did play strong now ahead of El Clasico. So Barcelona 4-0, Real Madrid 6-0. It's looking It's looking spicy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just
things
saw
are-
the notes. Please read the final note
Yeah,
for Madrid.
yeah. And then
Ashwin.
there's this another special note that I added under the Real Madrid bracket, and it says Madrid sucks, which they do. And then it's tonight, right?
Yeah.
It's tonight. They're playing El Clasico,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
we'll
yeah.
see. Yeah, we'll see. This is the second
if,
leg.
if Barca wins this, I think we would have sweep the El Clasico in terms of tally head to head.
Yeah.
For the season.
And Xavi is the first manager after Pep to have 3 consecutive
Yeah.
El Clasico wins. So that's good.
And Barca is only playing him 3 million. What the hell, Barca?
Yeah.
Don't cheap out.
Yeah.
You're doing concerts. We are doing wedding venues in Camp Nou. Give him some money.
But that is funny, to see Barca's manager getting paid only 3 million.
Yeah.
But from Xavi's perspective, that is, mad respect to Xavi.
Yeah.
At this money, this time of financial crunch, he's stepped up. So
Once a Bulgarian,
Yeah.
always a Bulgarian. Huh?
yeah. So yeah, that's exciting. So we have second leg of El Clasico. Second leg of Copa del Rey semi-finals.
The first leg, 1-0 win with a limited lineup on Barca's end. Levy
Yes,
wasn't there.
Levy wasn't there.
Yeah. Dembele wasn't there.
Yeah. So now Barca, they are facing off tonight again. So let's see. Excited for that as well.
Yeah.
Let's go Barca. So on the other hand, Monday, which is the 3rd of April, Atletico Madrid. Again, now top 3 contenders. They are at the 3rd spot right now. They did 1-0 against Real Betis. Real Betis are, good
Yeah.
challengers. They always step up, in La Liga. So that is it with the La Liga and now the table.
So let's give at least our prediction for the El Clasico for tonight.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
With the recent form of Madrid and, Barcelona and, with Levy being back and all. And I think it's going to be 2-0.
2-0 Barca win.
Yeah.
I'm thinking a 3-2 game or even a 2-2. But okay, let me stick with 3-2 Barca win.
Yeah. Because, Madrid does have a knack for coming back.
And Benzema all of a sudden just unleashed. So he's been in a very good form, especially coming after the international break, which has been his hat-trick. But even before the international break, he was on a very nice run of form. And he recently did say FU to the French national team. So, some vendetta on his back. So let's see.
So, now La Liga table. First Barcelona sits at first with, let me just check. Yeah.
Massive La Liga fans here.
Yeah,
Massive Barcelona fans here.
Just a little bit of technical problem. Yeah. So Barcelona sits first with 71 points played off 27 games.
Nice.
So and then Madrid, 27 games, 59 points. So they did play that extra game.
Yeah.
So we do have a 9-point gap there.
Yeah. I don't think we're gonna lose it anymore.
No.
So I think it's a sturdy team.
Going all
It's
the
a
way.
stable team, and it's vindication to bring Xavi and finally getting that trophy. And maybe if we can even get the Copa del Rey,
that'd be
then
a
that's
sweet
a
double.
brace, right?
Yeah.
So
We've already won the other one.
Oh yeah, I forget the name. The local league
Yeah,
now
yeah.
that they have created.
Yeah.
No. I think it was the Super Copa.
It's the Copa de Spain now. or something.
Yeah. So I think
the champions of the league and the champions of, I think, the second place. Thing.
champions of the league and I think Copa del Rey winners.
Yeah. So if they are the same play team winning both, so the second placed in the table gets to play with the champions.
Okay.
That was the case.
So that is the roundup on La Liga. A little bit of a few sprinklers game. Lyon won against PSG. PSG in shambles right now. Neymar out with injury, losing money left, right, and center on online gambling as well.
Bro
Wrecked
lost
his car.
1 million.
Yeah, and wrecked his car recently in an accident. So hearts and prayers to Neymar. Hope he can recover well, not just like physically but also emotionally and mentally. And PSG, I think they need to let Messi go, and Messi should come back for a tour of Barcelona and stay at least a season and then go MLS or wherever he wants to win another Champions League along the way. But that was one. Napoli, top of the table in Serie A, lost 4-0.
Surprisingly.
Yeah, surprisingly to AC Milan.
Yeah.
So that was a weird one. I think Juventus won against something Verona. I forget the name of the team. Sorry about that. But yeah, so that's pretty much everything. And then Bayern were able to win 4-2
the Germany's
after the
Clasico. Clasico, and they did win 4-2.
Der Klassiker. And after the sacking of Julian Nagelsmann, so you see the competition in German and the German people.
Who's the coach right now?
Interim? I forget. Oh shit, I forget. I was trying to remember his name in the morning, but yeah. So German super competitive. Bayern super competitive in the Bundesliga. They wanted to be much higher in the table for this season round.
It's our very beloved Thomas
Tuchel. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
So he's the coach.
Yeah, so
exciting. I think he's going to do great things in Bayern because he's a good coach
and can speak fluent German. Because he is German.
He's German.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's pretty much it on the football end. Anything else you want to add before we move on to the next topic?
I mean, great action packed, and now we have football action back on full swing. Premier League's about to end. La Liga is about to end.
Yeah.
There's some rounds in Champions League.
9 or 10 games on each.
Yeah. Champions League are going to kick off soon again, and that's going to be exciting.
Champions League shout. Who do you think now is going to win the Champions League?
I think it's got to be Bayern or Man City.
Yeah, I'm
going. But then when it comes to Champions League, you know what Man City does, right? They've got the curse, and then they also have Pep. So they've two bads on the Champions League front. Bayern looks strong if Thomas Tuchel wins the Champions League.
Oh my God, what a thing it will be for Chelsea.
Yeah.
Horror
for
show.
Bayern.
Yeah, I mean like
it'd be horror for Chelsea. Yeah. Obviously.
Yeah.
And Chelsea are still in it. And the other outside shout out I want to give is Napoli are doing surprisingly good.
I'm gonna say what Thierry Henry said. Napoli is a very strong and sturdy team, but they haven't played against a very competitive team so far in the Champions League. So and just lost to AC Milan.
Yeah.
So what does that do to their confidence? So I think it's going to be interesting. Champions League, I'm going for Man City, as I have been saying from the start of the season. But now we wrap up football and give some juice to some of our Indian fans out here. IPL is back. Oh my God, what amazing mimicry there, Ashwal. For a second, I thought IPL was playing in the background, But yeah, so IPL's been back. Gujarat continuing their amazing run of form. They did win their last IPL and fairly new team. And they are 2 wins in a row for Gujarat right now, sitting on top of the table with 4 points. Chennai Super Kings also had a good game the other day against Lucknow Super Giants, and that was impressive. 12 runs win. Delhi also had a game the other day. I think Delhi lost.
Delhi lost.
Yeah, Delhi lost yesterday, and by 6 wickets.
To Gujarat.
Yeah, to Gujarat. Yeah. And it's been interesting to see IPL back. The teams have been a little bit reshuffled again for this season, but most of the teams have stayed very same. And we've got a few games coming up tonight. Tonight, Rajasthan Royals is playing against the Kings 11 Punjab, which is kind of an okay-ish game. Kings 11 Punjab, kind of a good team, but Rajasthan Royals not that strong. Sanju Samson and all that. Okay. Let's see what happens. But this is the game that I wanted to talk about: KKR versus RCB. RCB, as always, not the best balanced team. I mean, they've got good bowlers and they've got good batsmen, but it's not very top end on each side. But Virat Kohli coming in with great form, and KKR seems to be not doing very well. And RCB did win their last game as well, so it's going to be fun to see that game.
KL Rahul, is he in KKR?
No. KL Rahul, I forget which team, but yeah, KL Rahul, Kings 11 Punjab, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, it seems like it's going to be a fun season. I did wanted to talk a little bit long about the IPL, but the reason I'm cutting it short a little bit is because the fun thing about IPL is that once a few games, at least 10-15 games get rolling, then you start getting into the points and all this and all that.
Yeah,
for the time being,
it starts to take shape.
Yeah. So for the time being, it's just a couple games for Gujarat and Chennai, Lucknow and Delhi, but everybody else haven't played even their second game. So far it doesn't look that bad. Kane Williamson out injured in the first game. He did tear his ACL. What's his name? Pant. I forget his name. Rishabh Pant out for the season as well. He didn't make an
appearance last game?
No.
I mean, he did come up and he did wave his hands. Yeah.
He looked so fat, and not in a bad way, but he looked so huge.
He gained some weight, yeah.
Yeah, but
The injury.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the injury and he looks that huge or he's always that huge because he's a huge guy. But yeah, he looked massive yesterday. But yeah, that's pretty much it from
They
the.
do say that camera adds 10 pounds.
Yeah. I mean, so we must be like stick thin, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, so anything else you want to add for the IPL? Who are you supporting? Who's your team in the IPL?
I mean, not that great of a fan, but then the thing about IPL, it is fun because in our house we have we've got like huge IPL followers.
Yeah.
So it is interesting to watch, and let's see what happens. Let it take shape, and then I'm gonna decide on. What about you?
Me, I've been supporting RCB. I used to support Deccan Chargers back in the day, but after the second season, Deccan Chargers were disbanded, and then I went on to the Kingfisher bandwagon. And because also AB de Villiers was there, Virat Kohli was there, Chris Gayle was there, so I've been on the RCB bandwagon for ages. Virat Kohli is still in RCB. He did give us a little bit of a shocker last year when there was possibility of him being changed, but yeah. RCB all the way, and let's see. Hopefully, maybe we can finally get our first title. But let's see. Seems like it's going to be a fun season either way. Anyways, let's round up IPL as well. Now the next topic, which is Ashwal's favorite topic.
F1.
Yeah, Formula 1 race 3 went underway, and we were taken off where? Down under. I hope that Australian accent was good. But we had the Australian Grand Prix on Sunday, and it was an interesting race. Definitely one of the biggest reason being Mercedes showed up to the Formula 1 season. They were competing. They qualified second and third, which was very interesting. They were able to take the lead and were leading at the end of second lap. First and second, George Russell and Lewis Hamilton. And Max Verstappen was third, which was interesting. But by the end of the race, Max Verstappen was first, Lewis Hamilton second, and Fernando Alonso third, which was 11 championship in total on the podiums that day. Max Verstappen with 2, Alonso with 2, and Hamilton with 7. Right? So it was one of a kind of a podium finish.
An iconic moment.
Yeah. And the highest championship tally of a podium ever in Formula 1 history. Okay. So that was fun. The other fun thing was there were 3 red flags. I don't know how much I agreed with the third one. I think they should have just let it finish. But I agreed with the first and second. They wanted them to race a little bit longer, and they didn't want it to eat up some of the laps behind the safety car. So I did agree with that, and it's always fun to see a start to the race even in the middle of it. So it's always fun, like chances of overtaking, lots of mistakes happening and all that, and even the back team can come into the play. So that was fun. Ferrari finished without a single point. Charles Leclerc out in the first lap, got hit, and then Sainz was given a 5-second penalty. I think he was rolling on fourth, and that 5-second penalty behind the safety car really ruined his race, and he was out of the point. So Ferrari wasn't able to score a single point. What's their name? Aston Martin, again, another strong result. Alonso third, and I think Sainz was fourth. So Aston Martin doing really well. George Russell was also out. Engine failure at the end of, I forget which lap, but middle of the race. Nico Hülkenberg seventh for the Haas team, which was a strong result for Haas. Both McLaren in the points and Oscar Piastri, being his home race, was able to finish 8th. So points on his home Grand Prix debut, which was really fun. 3 red flags, like I said, and the next week is off, which is sad.
Why is it off?
Because they're traveling. So Australia is the most further away place, and then America the other one.
So next is America?
Yeah. No, I don't think. Yeah, I'm not sure which is the next one, but America is again far. So like generally, if it's in Europe and Middle East, then we can have back-to-back weeks races because it's much more shorter delivery time and all that. But anyways, that's pretty much it for the Formula 1 Grand Prix, Australian Grand Prix. What a fun event. Really amazing, really interesting. And Formula 1 season starting to take shape. Sergio Perez, sorry, I didn't talk about him. Came fifth in the race and was able to make up some points. But I think the red flag also ruined Sergio Perez's race as well. But anyways, that was a very fun race. And I think it's going to be a fun one, not just because of the other teams being so close to each other, but also because Sergio Perez, I think, is going to give some competition to Max Verstappen this season round. Okay. So I think it's going to be a fun one. And that leads, if there is competition between the teams, there leads mistakes and all these things.
So who's leading the point.
I mean, it's Max Verstappen, man.
It's Verstappen.
Yeah, cleanly leading, 3 races, 3 wins.
So it's going to be back to back. It might be back to back wins.
Back to back to back.
Oh, back to back. So it's his second. This is his third back to back season. I mean, like,
Yeah, so
this might be a hat trick.
Yeah, this could be a hat trick, and not just that. This is the best start Max Verstappen has ever had to a season. 3 wins in a row, right, in the first 3 races.
So what is the longest consecutive run? Hamilton
For what?
for the championship.
Yeah, Hamilton.
How
I think
much?
it was 5.
5.
Yeah, 5.
Okay.
5.
That's crazy.
5 in a row. And that's pretty much it for the Formula 1 roundup. And now let's get on to it. We're winding down here, but I did wanted to slide this in as well. And do you want to lead us in, Ashwal?
UFC, Ultimate Fighting Championship. And I've been trying to follow this, I've been trying to get into UFC. He obviously is an avid fan. And I've been trying to get in as well. But what I know is Israel Adesanya is a beast.
Yeah,
And Alex
yeah.
Pereira has beaten him
Yeah,
3
yeah,
times.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
now
yeah.
this is going to be interesting. And this is the rematch of Izzy and Alex Pereira
Yeah,
in
yeah.
UFC.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think it's going to be... So there are like situations in sports where you have a boogie team or a boogie opponent, where you always end up losing against them, no matter what. Even if you are like the most technical or proficient person, somehow against that person, you always have a mental block, right? And in UFC 287, this is Israel Adesanya's final chance to get rid of the curse. And one of the reasons why I really, really love Israel Adesanya is because Alex Pereira is just at 7 fights in the UFC, right? Israel alone has had 10 fights in the last 3 years, right? So what I'm trying to get at is that like there was no reason for Israel, who was the champion, to call out Alex Pereira. But he is not a shy person. Not a shy person in the sense that he's not someone to hide behind the numbers and all that. So he called him out properly. And we've seen Israel... Alex and Israel, a little bit of a background for the people. Alex and Israel have fought 3 times already, 2 times in kickboxing in China, and then 1 time in the UFC. And in all 3 facets, all 3 matches, Israel was able to really display his proficiency, right? Even in the end of the first round, in the last match, he shook Alex, right? Alex had wobbly legs. He was doing the stanky leg, And then even in the second fight, in the end of second round, Israel was able to give him the stanky legs again. In the first one, judge's decision came into play. But in both the second and the third fight, Pereira was able to knock down Izzy or TKO, like technically knockout, right? Yeah. So you see that the longer the fight goes, Pereira still holds his power. So it's going to be a really, really intense...
So Izzy needs to finish it quick.
Yeah. And we can see that Izzy's personality has changed a little bit as well. In the sense that like generally when he's ever up for a fight, he's always like talking to the media in a different way. He's super chill and calm. But even in the previous one and in this one, you can see there's a little bit of tension in him. But I'm supporting Izzy. Who are you supporting for this?
I think I'll go with Izzy because I know a lot about him and I do like his character.
Yeah.
I think I'll go with Izzy. But then given that Alex has already won 3 times in the past, it's going to be a spicy one.
But yeah, hopefully Izzy is able to go up. And even the betting favorite, Israel Adesanya, even though he's lost all 3 fights before to Alex Pereira. So that much confidence from the people all around the world on Izzy.
So right now, Adesanya holds the title?
No. So Pereira was able to win it in the last match.
Okay.
Yeah. So Pereira is the champion now and Izzy is the underdog. Still, Izzy is the betting favorite. So that's interesting. Also, the other interesting fight is going to be George Masvidal versus Gilbert Burns. Leon Edwards just recently defended his title against Kamaru Usman. So now he's looking for a new contender. And Colby Covington was trying to come into the frame. But Leon was like, bro, when I wanted to fight you, you said no. And at that time, Colby was number 2. Right? And Leon Edwards with 10 fights win streak was still not getting any fights. Right? And now he's the champion. Leon was like, I'm not giving you the fight. Get in line. You stayed out for a year. So go. So now George Masvidal, Jorge Gamebred Masvidal versus Gilbert Durinho Burns. It's going to be an interesting one. And whoever wins is going to go for the title shot. So let's see what happens. Yes. Khamzat Chimaev did win against Gilbert Burns, but Khamzat also missed weight. So that held him back for the championship title. But yeah, that's pretty much it. UFC 287, please tune in. I think it's going to be a fun one. And that's pretty much everything for the sports roundup. Ashwal, anything else you want to add?
Now again, interesting turn of events.
Yeah.
Going to be happening, and let's see Izzy with the Izzy Adesanya and the whole thing.
Yeah.
And IPL, it's taking shape as well.
Yeah,
Premier League has already taken shape. All the other leagues as well.
Yeah.
So let's see what
Yeah,
happens.
yeah, and he missed his favorite Formula One. So
I mean, yeah. How could I miss Formula One? Yeah.
But yeah, so that's pretty much everything that we cover on our own. This is not something that we go out of our way to see. These are things that we are genuinely interested in and we check out. And if there are any other suggestions, any other things that you guys want us to check out, of course, if the tennis season comes around, we're going to be following that for sure, because we are avid sports fan here in our household. And yeah, that's pretty much everything that we've got covered. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show.
And do look out for the next episode. It's going to be, I think it's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah. Another one of those funny comedy episodes where we're doing a little bit of a challenge and a little bit of a punishment at the end. So I think that's going to be a fun one for you guys as well. Anything else?
Yeah, stay strong. You know, the COVID is kind of on the rise again, so we've gotta stay strong. So yeah, that's my message.
Yeah, and yeah, thank you so much for tuning in again, guys. Thank you for everything. Are you still Batman for this episode, Ashwal?
Don't I ever not be Batman? I mean,
He almost did the whole voice, you know. But anyways, thank you so much. And oh, by the way, I also wanted to say this. Sorry, we keep prolonging this, but our John Wick video. Lots of love from a lot of people all over the world. So thank you so much for that. And we did really enjoy it. A lot of my friends that are avid movie fans also came out and were like, bro, this review was good. And we did try to do it a little bit of a different kind of a structure, you know. But yeah, I see your face.
I mean, John, yeah.
Do you need a gun?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. And peace.